Hello, everyone. This is Turnkey Trading. I'm going to provide some stocks tonight. This is the first week of January 2024, and we had a pullback day, but there's a couple of sectors that are doing well. So we're going to talk about those. So the first sector that's doing well is the healthcare. So let's look at the XLV. Um, When I look at the XLV, it gained, 1.76% today. Everything has just been straight up. We've got congruency here. These indicators are pointing up. They're tight, just pointing up. We've got all buy markers all the way down. This is the daily. Over here on the weekly, really the same thing. So I think that this sector could go on for a little while. Uh, does that mean 3 weeks? Does that mean 7 weeks? I don't know, but it could keep going. Okay, so there's a lot of options available in XLV. You can jump into that one, but there are also a couple of stocks. The first one I'm going to look at is Moderna, mRNA. This has been really solid now for a couple of months, about 6 or 7 weeks, and you can see it shot up 13% today. And we've got congruency here. We've got just upward direction, all bullish all the way down. And over here on the weekly, really the same thing. We had a buy marker come in just a couple of weeks ago. The 2 hour is suggesting that we just got above this moving average, but we'll have to see if it holds. So watch that tomorrow before you just jump into mRNA again. I'm waiting and kind of hoping that it pulls back a little bit, and then I plan to get into this again because this is a strong stock right now. All right, the next stock for healthcare is AbbVie. It gained a little over 3% today. Really big candles. Everything's blue, well above the moving averages. We've got blue congruency all the way down. These are tight and blue. Come on, let's move. I'm trying to move you back a little bit. There we go. And same thing all the way down. We've got buy markers coming in, upward direction. This looks like it's about ready to roll over. Dynamic money flow pointing up now. Weekly, the same. I mean, this has been strong now for about 6 weeks. So this is a healthcare stock that's been going up, and I see no reason to think it's going to stop anytime soon. So that's ABBV. Next stock is Amgen, AMGN. This is another one that you can get into for healthcare. Went up 3% today, and as we go down, we see all these indicators. Everything is congruent with the right color. These indicators are pointing up. Buy markers are already here. Dynamic money flow is pointing up. It's above the average line, the median line there. On the weekly, same thing, and this has just been going up for 6 weeks. Okay, we're well above the moving averages. Yeah, it could pull back a little bit. Any of these could, but I'm thinking 1, 2, 3 weeks out. These should be good. Okay, so that's Amgen. That's another healthcare stock that you can look at. And since this is the healthcare sector, let's keep going. Let's look at J&J, Johnson & Johnson. It looks like it's above the moving average. It could pull back a little bit tomorrow, so we'll have to watch for that in the pre-market and after the bell. Other than that, we've got all the buy markers that we need here. They're already here. We're not waiting for anything. All the way down, we've got congruency in these indicators and color matching, all pointing upward. Over here on the weekly, really the same thing. Had a little 3-week slowness there, but everything hinges on getting over this moving average, and once it does, it might be blue skies ahead. So this is Johnson & Johnson. It's another healthcare stock that you can consider. Okay, Boston Scientific, BSX. This is a stock that's didn't do a lot today, but it's been strong, and we do have all of the buy signals and indicators firing right now. So we've got more than enough points here to get in. They're all pointing up. They're all congruent in color. Dynamic money flow is very strong, very high right now. And if you look at the weekly, same thing. We're well above the moving average. And we've got just solid upward momentum right now on Boston Scientific, BSX. So this is a stock that you can probably look at to enter tomorrow. All right, now let's take a look at CVS. This is a retailer, pharmaceutical, very large retailer in the United States. Very strong action. I mean, just look at this solid upward direction. We're well above the moving averages. Congruency here in the blue. Indicators are all pointing up. Same thing over here in the weekly. We have just solid upward directions on CVS. I don't see any reason that this is going to be pulling back anytime soon. You know, you got to watch for earnings and things like that. But as far as just natural momentum, this is as good as gold right now. So that's CVS. Now let's move into financials. Take a look at Citicorp. It doesn't get much stronger than that. That is a solid northeast direction with blue Heikin-Ashi candles. We're well above this moving average. In fact, this moving average has been tight, holding tight to this. That's a very bullish sign right here when you see it hugging that tight and that consistently. Down here, we've got congruency on the colors. These indicators are pointing up. This is tight again. This is the RSI and TSI together. Another version of the TSI right here with a buy marker. So over here in the weekly, same thing, just very solid. This thing's been going up for 2 months, okay? You know, with the promise of lower rates than really any of the financials, and that includes banks and commercial real estate and mortgage places, real estate type mortgage places. All of those are expected to do well. So this is Citicorp. This is a good one to get into. I also want to show you a stock that I've never looked at before, and that's Ally. They are a savings bank. I tried getting into this a couple of times today, but my orders would not fill. And it says it has very high open interest. So I don't know why my orders wouldn't fill, but it's been very solid. Look at this action, well above moving averages. We've got all the buy markers. We've got blue congruency here. Indicators are pointing up. All the same story here, all the way down. Over here on the weekly, very strong. Looks like it's going to continue. I understand it's kind of been stuck for a couple of weeks, okay? So this isn't one to just rush into after the bell. You kind of want to watch this one because it looks like it's going to get moving again, okay? So, you know, what we're looking for is hoping to get another move kind of like this to come out of it. But we'll see. We'll keep an eye on this one, but it is a good one. That's Ally. Now let's take a look and see what happened to coin today. I know people are ready to long this again. I'm not sure about that. Right now it came down big time today. It was down about 10% or so, and it's just came down to this moving average. I believe that's the 20, and it has stalled. So what does that mean? Does that mean it's going to punch through it tomorrow? Does that mean it's going to bounce? I don't know. I wouldn't rush into anything on this one. Wait until you get some clear direction. As you can see down here, with a big move like that, it didn't take long for these to change color and to start showing, you know, where this thing is really committed. It's weak right now. It's what this means. We've got orange here. These are orange and pointing down. These are pointing down. Sell markers have come in already. So you're going to get that on a big move on 10%. You're going to get early agreement and early signals on these, okay? Right now, the weekly doesn't really mean anything. It's all about the daily and what it's going to do with this moving average. So kind of a wait and see to see where coin and Bitcoin are going to go. Now, this one I was in. I've been in for a couple of days. Today I got lucky. It went up 13%. I think I was already down a little bit from prior days. So it went up 13%, and my position is now positive 50 or 51% on the option. So I don't remember how much I was down over the last couple of days, but it recovered. And you know, Zim is a shipping company, and I think there might be something going on with this over in the Middle East. But very strong upward direction right now. It's probably less based on technicals as much as it is about news over in the Middle East. So this is one to watch. Um, this is Zim. I think if you look at the weekly, it's been moving up solidly, but it's kind of, I'll admit it would be hard to hold through here. It'd be hard to hold through here. So what we want to get into is a move like this, and you see this marker that came in along with congruency down here. It got us into one of this. Okay. Now the next one that we're under right now is this red, and yeah, we got about 4 days of down. So if this green candle can show up here, maybe tomorrow, then maybe we've got something that can carry us up to this moving average, which would be around 13. Okay, so that's where Zim. It's worth watching. I think it's going up. I just don't have everything here that I need to see, but I'm still in it, and I'll stay in it and see where it goes. Let's take a look at CL. This is crude oil. It's had a steady climb up for a couple of months now. We got this buy marker in. This one's in. We're well above this moving average. Congruency here, blue. Indicators are pointing up. We got buy markers that have come in. Look at that dynamic money flow. That's a nice rise there. Over here in the weekly, the same thing. Everything's congruent with being blue or green and pointing up. So, and look at this 2 hour. I mean, this one's moving. Okay. So this is CL, crude oil, our first energy play. Another stock here is ERJ. They do aerospace and defense. Definitely down. This is a short position. Everything's been orange. It had a nice dip down over 3% today. It's got some room to go. About 5% more to go before it reaches this moving average. And then we've got orange here, congruency down here, here. Everything's starting to point down. Everything's weak. Especially you can see that on the 2 hour. And on the weekly, we just got a sell marker come in on the weekly today. Okay. So some weakness here for ERJ. Another short idea is ON or ONON. Solid move down. This has been hard down for 2 weeks now, and it looks like this is going to continue. This move is going to continue. So we got some really strong conviction and commitment to the downside for ONON. Probably one, even though the markets have kind of been flat, struggling, this has definitely made a solid move. So you could say it's got relative strength. It's moving clearly on its own to the downside. And over here on the weekly, we've got 2 weekly down candles here, orange candles here. Okay, so you can look at a short on ONON. Another short idea is Chewy, CHWY. It dropped 5.5% today. Got a strong sell signal in. We got this one in. So we got 2 sell markers in. We got some room to go before the next intersection of moving averages. Probably another 6% to go. And we just got orange here. We got orange, and these are pointing down. That is strongly pointing down. And then sell markers are coming in. Everything's rolling over. All right. Now this is a new move to the downside, so we don't have a lot of agreement here on the weekly, not yet. Here on the 2 hour, the move has been clearly to the downside. So possibly you could look at Chewy for a short. Next one is DraftKings, DKNG, another solid move to the downside. This has been weak for a little while. It dropped, around 5% today. It's got some room to go. Yeah, a good 7 or 8% more to go before it reaches this moving average. And we've already got orange and lines starting to roll over here all the way down. And it's been weak now for a month. And we just got this sell marker that came in on the weekly. Okay. But that's a pretty solid move on the 2 hour candles. So DraftKings, definitely weak right now. You could look at it for a short. Now let's take a look at Starbucks. This has been weak. I mean, again, we're under the moving averages. 2.5% slide today. We've We've got orange here. These indicators are rolling over. Everything's starting to roll over and get weak. And look at this. Look at this weekly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks straight of down. And look at this 2-hour move today. So Starbucks is definitely weak right now. Is it going to get below here? Yeah, that's something to watch out for. Okay, just try to make sure that it can clear this. It can clear these bottoms. But if it does, I think you're probably good to go for a short here on Starbucks. All right, next short idea is FCX. Just got a sell marker come in. We're waiting for the other one to show up, but it's got some room to go before it reaches this moving average. This one's orange. This one's not orange yet, but if we expand this out, looks like the lines are ready to touch. So that means you got a good chance that will turn orange tomorrow. And then we've got orange here, and these are starting to roll over. Everything's rolling over. We have sell markers that are already in. So, and on the weekly, it's a little early on this move, so we don't have any confirmation here on the weekly, really. Just on the 2-hour and on the daily, because this is a little early, but we've got some very good signs here that FCX is going to be rolling over. So this could be another short for you. I want to take a quick look. Freeport McMoran, I believe this is kind of an industrial stock. Okay. So that's all for my short ideas. Now just a handful of some more longs. This is PEP, PepsiCo. Nice rise today, even on such a weak day. You know, the markets were down 1.5% today, and meanwhile Pepsi is up, like around 2%. All right. So we've got our buy markers in. We're just above this moving average. Got a long way to go before we get to that one. Well, I would say about 3% more to go. I guess that's not as far as I thought it was, but you got about 3% more. And then we've got blue here, congruency. With these indicators are pointing up. That's up. Everything. All these markers are up. Even the dynamic flow is getting stronger. It seems that there's more money coming into it. So over here on the weekly, kind of flat for the most part. I think we're going to be mostly looking at the daily play on this one. I don't have a lot of commitment on the weekly yet. But it looks like just now is it starting to break out of this structure here. Okay, so that's why I like Pepsi. I think Pepsi could be a long play right now. Now we'll look at VZ, Verizon. Just got a buy marker come in. Nice big candle, over 3% today. It's comfortably above this moving average, all MAs. Down here we've got congruency on the blue. Change of color shows a change in direction and strength. We've got that one's moving up. This is starting to move up. Might be a little early. But this one's definitely moving up. We got this one's moving up. Color change. Buy markers come in. This is starting to roll. This one's already on its way, and the dynamic flow is certainly following suit here. On the weekly, it's been up now, solidly bullish for 2.5 months now. Okay, so it looks like we got some wind at our backs here on Verizon, and that was certainly a nice move on the 2 hours. So Verizon is definitely a long play. Monster, MNST, solid bullish now for over a week, even in such a weak overall market environment. We've got this buy marker that's come in. This one's been in for a while. We've got congruency here on the blue, a direction pointing up. Everything's just pointing up. Over here, we have some wind at our backs on the weekly. You can see it's just been steadily grinding up. So, and look at this 2-hour move over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. So, monster. You need to look at that for a potential long. In fact, if we rolled it, let's take a look at this a little bit. If we're going to use these as support and resistance, then we might need Monster to get above, once it reaches about 60. I think that would be a good number. You could look at that, okay? So I like it. It's strong, but there's some potential of some weakening as it starts to fall in line here. So if it can get to 60, that might be a time to go long. It might be signaling that it's going to keep going. Now I also like McDonald's. Look at this solid bullish run here. Nice, comfortably above. It's following this tight moving average. Everything's congruent. Lines are pointing up. Everything looks great down here. Everything looks bullish, but once again, if we look left, we might see some structure, and we are. So I like McDonald's, but I think I would wait to see if it's going to bounce off of about the 298, 299 area, maybe 300. It might get up to 300 and pull back. I do like it though. Look at this great weekly. But we need to see, is it going to pull back when it hits this resistance? That's the question on McDonald's. So would I jump into this tomorrow? No. I need to see what's going to happen here. Okay, but I do like how everything else is setting up. And we'll finish with Apple. Apple has just become a dumpster fire today. I don't know what happened. It dropped 3.5%. A couple of sell indicators come in. I think it got a downgrade. I think that's what happened from some analysts. But it's starting to get tangled up in these moving averages. We've got orange here, and everything's rolling over, clearly showing weakness in Apple. So I would not go long. Don't try to counter trend this until you really see some evidence and commitment that it's going to be moving up again. Right now, I don't see that. I see potentially getting down here to the 180, 181 area, but that's only 2.5% more to go. Is that worth getting into? I don't know. I guess if you wanted a scalp or something, but once it gets down in here, it's definitely going to probably pause. Okay, but it's heavy, it's weak. I would not try to counter trend trade this right now. That's it for now. Hope you enjoy this review and this analysis. I just try to find some stocks that look like we can get into, today or tomorrow and hold for a week or two. Stocks that are moving either up or down, that clearly have some momentum and they got some solid bullishness or bearishness behind them. And I use my system of indicators. I don't just use 2 or 3. I know I subscribe to some alerts myself. And some places only use 1 or 2 to make their decisions, and then they send out their alerts. And yeah, I mean, I've got a whole 11-point diagnostic inspection that I run the stocks through before I, get into them. Okay, it doesn't mean I'm perfect. I still win and lose, but I think traders need to have a system and not just use a handful of indicators and to make their decisions. Okay, all right, that's it for now. Thanks for watching.